So game 2, I think it's going to be very important for Denial to try and, if they can't control the pace, make sure AFK can't set the pace.
They need a different strategy all around right here.
Do you think they go back to their original strategies where they ran these early game team comps? Because they've been transitioning into a more standard play style that we see from the top teams.
Let's go to P's and B's. We're going to find out. Denial, I imagine, is going to get blue this time. P's and B's.
And I really want to see these bans. I want to see what AFK is going to target. So AFK actually prefers this side because they get the counter pick. They want Cyclone Spin to get his best god or the best god to fit the team.
They're not going to get the Janus Gab Isis pick, right? Like that was amazing.
Look, Giannis is banned.
Well, they're probably still going to ban away the combo, but they're going to lose Isis this time. There's no way Denial's letting it go.
AFK coming out with the final ban here. The question is, will it be Isis instead of the Geb? And it is. It's going to be Isis. I love that decision. But it's so much to really first pick Geb here. It's really committing a lot.
They do it.
They're going to take it.
AFK option here on the top side. I assume that we're going to see Kiki's pick here.
Early on, it's going to be an Athena and Medusa.
Okay.
No, they like that dual lane, and it did very well against Bronx and Shadowq.
See, Shing to me isn't an Athena player. Right? Baskin, not a Athena player, at least not from what we've seen too much. So I think letting Athena go for that phase might have been kind of strong, but obviously they don't want to give up the major look lane. It's too strong.
Is it the major look lane? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also a Mercury move.
Right, but he's not in the meta, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay, we're good. Thor and Agni picked up, so Denial going to be running a very similar team comp, except instead of Odin, it will be Geb this time.
A much stronger team comp already.
Like
yes. Humbot's going to be locked in. Wow, okay. So
we can this god.
Throwing Serket out. And with Thor locked in, they don't have to worry about it, but they still ban Bastet?
Could be a solo lane. It might be something Baskin had played. That may be more something that Cyclone's looking to play a god. Cyclone might be looking to play Ao Kuang, who Bastet does very well against.
That's true. Those bleeds are no joke, man. Fenrir gets banned away in a moment of clarity as we see another female mid laner get picked up.
Is that a knock at Kiki?
I mean, it's got it.
Because he can't play male.
Don't worry,
male
Nox
gods.
is coming. Nox is coming. He'll have 3 gods.
Nox actually kind of really fits his playstyle.
It does.
A very controlling mage, very supportive mage.
That silence is serious.
Locked in, likely to go to the solo lane, and we're going to see what Cyclone Spin's going to elect to pick against this Awilix. I'm actually interested to know, because
there's not much, man.
Was the first player to play Awilix solo in the SPL.
That's right.
He knows how to play against this matchup.
I have no... I mean, for me, Featherstep does so much damage. The real pick would be Ratatosker, but obviously we can't see that.
I hate that rat.
Be mad. Oscar's the homie, dude. You gotta chill. Oscar. It's my man Oscar.
DM. Final pick coming through here for AFK. Going to round out the lineup. Likely to be going to Cyclone Spin to play against an Awilix solo. Trying to think here what it could be. And
strange. So there's a few things to note here. One, his jump cannot be taken by Gravity Surge. The Lord of the Afterlife is a CC immune jump, so he will not be pulled out. Number 2, if he attaches the tether as the fight begins, the Feather Step will have major damage reduction on top of the fact that, of course, the broken Lord of the Afterlife himself will gain extra physical damage reduction based on how many stacks of his passive are currently active.
Now, I'm going to be interested again. Is Denial going to look to invade? They have Thor, they have Awilix, and what's important here is that AFK has nothing to cancel out Berserker's Barrage, which early game is going to be chunking if they elect to invade, especially with Thor's passive, increasing his physical power for those enemy players around him.
All right, so we're into the game here. AFK versus Denial. Game 2 of a 2-game set. Denial having a chance here to tie it up and do much better in their final week. They do have to go against TSM in their contention for land. A win here will do very well for them, because if they win here and then can tie next week, they put themselves in a great spot.
Yep. Pretty standard start here, and AFK Gaming is expecting the invade. Very defensive warding coming out from them when they're normally the ones being the aggressors. That's the thing about AFK, is that they can play all these different team comps and they know how to respond. They don't have a single mindset. They play things differently than other teams and adapt very well.
So take a look at Cyclone Spin. You can see that he's already using that sickle at level 1 to give himself an advantage. Remember, every time he uses an ability, he will gain physical damage reduction. He was looking to get into lane with somewhere between 5 to 7 stacks. Right, that's where you really want to be.
And he hasn't fully used it, too, because he knows he's likely to be using it against camps as well.
Right, exactly. He doesn't want to go all the way, because once you hit that final point, you start wasting it. Right, he wants to get in with 6 or 7 stacks, putting him at the best possible physical damage mitigation for the first 2 levels.
No triple camp coming out from Denial's solo laner this time. They're going to play it safe. They're going to go 3 camp start. So I'm going to be interested to see, because Weekend last time was able to hold Xing in this lane. With Hunbats, he's not going to be able to do that. He's definitely going to be pressured out by the Thor.
Speaking of which, Thor, a much strange pick to me, considering Xing didn't really have the same lines. I want to see a much different strategy this time, and like you said, I don't want to see him get locked into this lane again. Xing is a rotating player. He must go.
And Weekend's already out of this lane. He's already going. He's going to split the lane with Kiki. So this time he has a different strategy. He knows he can't keep Xing in play, so he's going to get the early push and then look to control and steal away the enemy back camps. But Denial, they 3-camped on both sides. They're not going to get him stolen away.
Xing using a lot of mana here to try to clear this as fast as possible. He wants to gain this experience and run just out of there. He needs to get out. Now, on the top side, you're going to see the mid and the jungle go for these back camps. This is a big deal. Xing is just slightly behind on the timers, and with no camps on the bottom side, his rotation maybe not as important, but he's not going to gain as much experience.
I think what's important here is that Kiki has gotten both back camps, so he's going to be ahead of Mace to the face because of that, because Weekend didn't do the 3-camp start on his side.
Right, and with this, Weekend should be hitting level 4 here, as well as Kiki. Looking at Mace, only level 3.
He's going to be falling a little bit behind here.
Right camp coming up on the bottom, left camp coming up on top.
No surprise here that Denial's dual lane is getting pushed back. They had a stronger dual lane last time, and we're still getting pushed back by the Medusa. So Allied really showing that it doesn't matter if you have a good support that can clear. He knows how to play Medusa and control his lane.
With that, we're about a minute away from mid camps. I would expect at around 2:45 or so, we're going to see those supports start to rotate. Both the mid and the jungles on both sides are going to be heading to their back camps, with a small advantage here for blue should they have enough time to get that left camp after the next wave. Actually, I don't think they do. They have to get ready for those mids.
Going to be wondering to see if we're going to see the dual lane coming out from AFK double rotate like we've seen more commonly. And here's an off-timed gank. Xing is 5, and he's looking to shut down Cyclone Spin.
To the same point, they really should be shutting down the mid. They don't want Mace hitting level 5 before 240, and he doesn't hit it, which means he's only going to have 1 bomb for the start of mid camps.
He's not going to have the same presence he would. And
there it is.
It was just 1 minion, too.
7 seconds late, though.
Just that little bit of zoning. He's only going to have 1, and a 4-man group up from AFK. Shadow Q could be in a big...
Oh, Allied's not level 5, which means he's not going to have that same level of presence. Xing gets in there. Damage coming out. Kiki very low here, but Allied has hit 5, and the turnaround is... Oh my god, raining fire! Mace falls down. Allied's going to find another kill here. Shadow Q is out of mana.
He's out of mana, but Weekend doesn't have enough to chase him. Baskin has rotated. Can he find any kills in response here? Doesn't look like he can, and Cyclone's just going to grab these mid camps for free. Fight breaking out in the mid lane here.
They're trying for it.
Incon was really low. I think he got pulled. His Gravity Surge? Yeah, Gravity Surge is down. So they were able to combo Shadow Q and Baskin, but they weren't able to pick off Weekend.
With that, Allied finding that level 5 was so important, because that's the second time that we've seen him use that ability to completely shut down a team fight. Even if people don't turn to stone right away, they're getting slowed and they're taking massive AoE damage.
I think Xing thought he had picked up Kiki. Because he threw the hammer out and he thought the double tap was going to hit. Because if the double tap did hit, he would have got the kill. And Xing started to walk away, but Kiki just barely living.
I really thought, I personally thought Kiki died.
I thought Kiki was dead. Like, dead to rights.
But he somehow weasels his way out of it again. And they find the first 2 kills of the game and both sets of mid camps. Baskin choosing to try to find the gank and the kill, taking the risk. Unfortunately, the risk does not pay off, and the reward goes to AFK. Mid camp secured, and the Gravity Surge wasted.
Buffs coming back up. AFK Gaming are a little bit ahead here, but they're not going to pressure their lead. They're not going to try to invade like we typically see them do. They don't really have the team comp to invade, I'd say. They have the Athena, but Nuwa not very strong early. Mace going to be doing a little bit more for the most part in team fights.
With that, we're getting back into the jungle situation here as everything's starting to respawn. Denial much faster on the
they didn't see him.
Side. Yeah,
they did not see Weekend. The pathing they took, they have no idea he's here unless they're going to spot him out.
Cyclone trying to bait it. Baskin trying to move forward here. How are they so?
Oh, okay, he saw it. Is that a ward?
I think it is a ward.
Okay.
Is that an AFK ward?
Yeah.
Wait, whose is that?
Denial is playing with the AFK ward. That's Baskin's. Shing's not going to ward for Baskin.
Shing's not going to ward.
He actually warded a lot. He had like 25 or 30
yeah, he did.
in one of his like 15-minute games. He's been doing better, but they're going to spot him out there on that ward.
Still a massive advantage here for AFK, though, about 1,500 gold. Very similar to what we saw in Game 1.
Denial.
Wow. Look at the control.
Pretty passively, yeah. And this is the same as Game 1, is AFK set the pace, and Denial are just trying to... Did he steal it?
No, he didn't, but damn, it was close.
Okay, I almost thought he did, because Bronx was walking away like he got stolen.
If he would have stole that with a reach...
I would have been mad for them. I would have been like, Bronx, I'm so sorry, man.
That would have been the tilt. That would have been it.
That's like,
guys,
just I'm DCing.
Please. But no, they secure it just barely, but they secure it and hopefully avoid that tilt there. It's got to be frustrating, though, to see him walk into the lane so cleanly. Now, we're back to the mid camps here.
Is this going to be the same thing? Is Shing going to go on Kiki? Taunt coming out onto Shadow Q here. Stun hitting. Shadow Q taking a ton of damage. Shing in the back line, though. Weaken's trying to ult, and Encon's chasing a kill, but he can't find it. Kiki will pick it up.
That's all they needed. Weaken will fall here, and Kiki not in a great spot as Baskin picks up the mid camps, but Allied finds Bronx Bombers. Kiki dodging the damage there, and look at the bait. Baskin's completely out of position there, and even with Mace throwing some damage, that's going to be a 3-for-1, and they're not even done.
Mace's dash is up. He's going to get it, but they forced out so much, and AFK, they're 4 fresh. They're going to be taking this Gold Fury, likely uncontested. Shing's ult is down. Mace has only 1 bomb.
Yeah, Shing actually just used his Mjolnir's attunement as well on the creeps, so he actually might even get caught here. No, it's back off cooldown.
And he didn't even secure mid camps. I mean, Cyclone Spin's going to be able to contest him, and AFK have a ward. They know he's there.
Shing, don't do it. Don't do it.
To do it, though.
He can't. Control it. Just take that stuff. It's all for you, but don't walk near those mid camps, buddy. You will not live to see the end of them.
Yeah. Cyclone Spin once again going to secure solo. Well, okay, Kiki's over the wall. Normally he's been securing these solo, and taking a look at the gold lead, he's got a 1K lead on Baskin.
Yeah, Allied right now has a 1,000 lead as well. And it's so big because he has 2 kills and 2 assists, right? No kills again for Xbalanque.
Bronx just can't get anything rolling there. And little frustration, going to be auto-attacking backwards. Just like throwing the bullets behind. That actually might be like him showcasing his own skill. Just like, I can hit auto-attacks backwards.
I'd be really impressed. Baskin forced away. Cyclone Spin, even at low health here, or lower health, I should say, undeterred from Baskin's pressure, thanks to the creep advantage.
And Baskin's been doing okay in this lane.
He might have overcommitted. I'm very surprised to see Cyclone not stick with that one.
I mean, they're both the same. Like Cyclone has a level on him, but Baskin's the same build as him. I'm a little interested, too.
Oh, but he misses the Spirit Flail, and he's pretty much out of mana here. Gravity Surge. This might be a kill for Baskin. He's out of mana.
Yep.
And man, does Feather Step swing.
Yeah, and Cyclone Spin was not expecting that. And, I mean, it does 2 times the damage when you're in the 3rd hit in your attack chain. And it's a lot of burst you can't expect. Cyclone Spin taking a spill against his own god.
That was his first death this set.
Man, that's disgusting.
Yeah, right? So Allied at low health here seems unafraid as Kiki takes to the sky, using it more as a ward, worried that Shing might have been playing an attempt at
And I think that was it, because you saw Allied back off. He started to get a little scared. There was no vision on Shing, and he's just going to have to throw out that ult there. And I think that's the utility of Nuwa is the damage early on is like nothing. At level 1 of his ult, you're hitting for like 60 to 100 damage. It's not a lot. Use it for a ward, use it for vision more than anything.
So Kiki, you notice he didn't auto-attack there. He's going to have to here. No, he sends it to Fog again.
I think
he's saving it.
Up, yep.
Yeah, that's why you see that glowing wood crystal. What he's trying to do with this is use it for his passive. Now, every few auto-attacks that he lands, his next auto-attack cast will be a special one, which will root somebody.
Shing gonna double tap Weaken, and Weaken gonna have to jump out instantly.
Great play.
Shing's ult is up, but they still don't want to be aggressive. Baskin, they're chasing it. Denial's going to secure mid camps, but they're trying to find Weaken, and he's going to look to turn this around. Baskin actually immunes the ult with beads. Could be in a lot of trouble. And
I don't think he's getting out.
Oh, he is.
Suku right on point here. They're trying to chase it. Kiki gonna find it over the wall. Very great shot there. I mean, a beautifully placed Shining Metal.
Cyclone Spin looking to keep up the fight. Shadowq going to have to Cataclysm defensively, and AFK Gaming will take a kill, but Xing dives into 4, hits no one.
And he escapes, though. It could have been a lot worse.
He could have just died.
Look at this 5v3. Bronx on the left side. It looks like going for the purple. Incon going real deep here. Shield Wall plus a Spirit Flail going to put Shadowq real deep, and you actually see that root, that wood crystal being used again, just slightly off the mark. 2 feet closer, and it would have resulted in a kill again on the Shadowq, but 6-2, and with the mid camps going their way, things look very strong right now for AFK.
Yeah, 4,700 gold in the lead, and that's a pretty raw lead considering only 1 Gold Fury has been taken.
Yeah.
So once again, we're seeing AFK Gaming control all 3 lanes and the jungle. And you look at really where the lead is, and it's on the 2 carry lanes for AFK. It's on Allied, and it's on Cyclone Spin.
And it's crazy to see Cyclone have that lead considering he has the same amount of, kills that he's been a part of, right? With a 2/ line on the assist versus the 1-1.
He also got solo killed by his counterpart.
By the way, I love the build coming out. He comes out, boots, very strong, right? Warrior Tabby. And the reason you don't get Ninja Tabby every time is you want to be able to poke as hard as possible with that Spirit Flail, especially in the early game. Now, it goes into the Iqbal to reduce the Awelish damage. And now, looking at that Cudgel, this could be, of course, one of 2 things. Rune Forge for just flat-out defense, or goes into the Frostbound
I think it's likely going to be Frostbound.
Yes.
Even with the death, I think Cyclone Spin has near perfect positioning in team fights, and his mechanics and reactionary time, he can dodge and juke a lot of the damage that incomings. That all he needs is the 400 health, and then that insane passive. It's going to self-DR a little bit and reduce the slow, but it's still going to increase it.
Right, I mean, he's not only going to gain a massive amount of health, like you said, but being able to slow attack speed is such a big deal when fighting a Xbalanque who's already behind, shutting down any ability he might have otherwise. Yeah, look at this. Is he spotted?
No, Weaken. He sees that Bronx is back.
He's going to turn, though.
It's going to call it out. Yeah, because there's a fight in mid. Xing trying to go on Kiki. Kiki going to get up in the air just in time.
But he's not going to come down into safety. Good juke. Good Aegis, and Weaken's in there. They force Mace away, but Xing's going to find the kill once he gets the stun.
No, Xing misses the double tap, and Shadowq will find the kill, but Allied gonna stun out Xing, and they're gonna turn on Baskin. They know where the carry damage is, and Cyclone Spin 1v3 in the backline.
Look at this, no fear whatsoever. Shadowq is gonna get picked off. Baskin, super low health, able to get away, but what happens when you win a team fight when the Gold Fury's up?
You take Gold
Fury. You just go and get the Gold Fury.
Oh, okay. They're actually really low. Bronx Bombers, he has boots on. He doesn't have boots online, so if he gets caught, he is caught. And he's not even going to go. He's going to go to lane, and AK is going to take a 2nd Gold Fury and then take mid camps as well. I do want to talk about something here. This is, I think, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time that we've seen Denial commit so hard on Kiki. And even though Kiki fell this time, the fact that he can live for so long,
it's the same thing that happened in game 1.
Like, yeah, it's just
they invested 3 ults. They invested 3 ults into him. They got him down to 1 health. They thought he was dead. He stays alive with 20 health, and then they waste 5 more seconds trying to kill him.
You saw that too. Xing hammered through the wall, thought he died, realized he didn't, so didn't teleport out, and then died before he could get the auto attack.
Right,
off.
Allied just turned around the corner and is like, "What are you looking at? You don't look at me."
AFK Gaming is so good, and Kiki is the cornerstone.
This guy has that root every single time we look at him. Every single time we look at him, he has that root passive. There's not a single other new up player we have ever seen have that up as much as possible. His uptime is insane.
Critical, and you really have to hit it in team fights too, and he normally finds it. It's very good for ganks as well.
Can't wait for him to go over to this red buff and stack up that passive again.
Because production yelled at you that it wasn't up anymore?
On, man, I hate you guys.
It's only 5 autos. He'll get it up in time again.
I think he only needs 2 at this point.
Okay. Denial grouped up here in the mid lane. They keep trying to be the aggressors, but they can't. Right. It's just Kiki is so hard to lock down. They need to find it. They need to figure out something.
How does Kiki have a 1,500 gold advantage right now?
Because they commit so much into him and he lives, and he gets the assist because his team picks up kills.
By the way, I love the Pythagorum's piece here. He's not giving a lot of damage to his team, but the lifesteal is really strong because, I mean, they're gaining so much off of things like Shining Metal and Fog, and the minions are doing so much damage for him even when he's out of the fight, so he's gaining this passive health back. On top of the fact that the cooldown reduction is very important at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think the cooldown reduction is the primary thing he's going to go to. And Cyclone Spin, I mean, he's got a level on his lane partner and 2 on Xing, 3 on Xing.
Look at this. They're just pressuring them into the tier 2.
This is the
Mace
same
can't
story
rotate.
as game 1.
If Mace rotates, there's a fair chance that he dies. He can't afford to go back again with a 1,600 gold deficit.
He's getting pinched. He's getting pinched real hard.
Doesn't have
Beats not available. He's going to take a spill. Shadowq trying to Cataclysm out, but he's gone and Xing stayed in the fight.
Kiki's going to get those minions down, and a perfect stun goes right up into the sky to send some damage down. Doesn't find the kill on the Shadowq, but baits him out. Oh, Baskin did not run and will meet his maker here. Shadowq trying to save him and will meet the same fate.
His Denial's trying to save each other. Xing goes in trying to save Shadowq.
Gotta let it go.
Shadowq gets out. Xing gets picked. And then we see Baskin come in trying to save, who was it? Mace to the face.
Gotta let it go.
He gets picked. And then Shadowq tries to save Baskin.
Gotta let it go.
He gets picked. Was there a story to that?
Gotta let it go.
Okay.
Just let it go.
That's going to be 5 down, although at different times, and they're looking at Fire Giant now.
And this is what you see from the top level teams. There are objectives on the map, but not everyone needs to push the same one. They know that they have the player advantage. They know they had control. I want to point out that Cyclone doesn't have a second active. Golden hand, please, as we see as he goes back.
1,800.
Okay.
Likely he's going to go into a defensive item or pick up the second active.
Okay, Steel Mail.
Yeah, it's probably going to mid Guardian.
Ooh. Jeez, that is aggressive.
I'm so sorry.
By the way, I want to point out that he switched the sprint from the second active space to the first one, which is very important because that puts it in the F key, and F means fast.
What if he has different keybinds?
No, he does. His F means fast. Shh. Shh.
What if it's like
Come
G?
on. Shh.
What
No,
if it's like a side mouse
G means
button?
go fast.
Xing getting taunted out here. Beads may not be available. He's going to get slow. Teleport is short, and Weekend finds the stun. Cataclysm coming out. Mace trying to combo, but they just don't have the damage to do anything.
Wow, Weekend's not letting this go. But he doesn't
Furious
need to.
Monkey. He didn't even teleport to it.
And look at this, Allied diving forward here. Incon's going to find it and force the beads. Allied still going forward. Acid Spray going to be good. And using the CC immunity of the Stone Gaze. Oh, look at all the damage. He's still in there. Kiki throwing some damage from the backline as well with the Fire Shards as Cyclone dives the tower. Allied finds a double kill. They trade no one for 3 with Fire Giant still available and the mid Phoenix already down.
I thought they were going to take Phoenix, and then I realized there's still 2 towers up. That's how much control AFK have. They can dive the enemy's Phoenix with towers still up, and with all those players dead, they're going to be grabbing all the jungle and likely going to Fire Giant.
I mean, why not? With Shadowq having his ult down at this point, if he tries to make a play on the defense, Cyclone Spin will actually just ruin it.
I mean, he's just going to die now. There's nothing he can do. He's going to take out the... Yeah.
It's infinite slows. He has Frostbound Hammer and Sickle on a 4-second cooldown. Like, it doesn't matter where you try to go. Even walking in that direction might have been a misplay. He couldn't really choose to fight in that situation. Xing will get out with his beads usage, but that will be the end of Xing's relevancy in this fight.
I think Xing has had his beads on cooldown 90% of this game.
Yeah, the downtime has been massive.
Incon has not missed a beat. Anytime he sees Xing out of position or in a position to get taunted, he goes on him and he forces it out because he knows the rest of his team will commit, and Xing has to beads or he's going to die.
12,000 gold in the lead here. AFK at the 18-minute mark after a rather devastating first game finds himself in a similar position. Now with Denial taking a massive trip to the left lane, I assume that we're going to see Fire Giant taken for basically free.
And I think Denial expected AFK to be already on that, but
yeah.
AFK Gaming might just want to fight them here in a very unsuspecting manner. Denial doesn't have any wards.
And they're probably calling out, they don't have Fire Giant. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Xing, no beads. He could get taunted out here if he's not careful.
Again, short teleport, but just barely outside the range.
He has to short teleport.
That was a good one.
If he delays the teleport, Incon can get the taunt off before the hammer goes max rank. But AFK, they're not even going to risk Fire Giant. They're just going to take it cleanly and just let Weekend split push.
That's another 1,500 gold, and we'll double it with the Gold Fury. 3,000 added right to the coffers. A $600 payday for everyone on AFK Gaming in a matter of, what, 3 seconds?
20,000 experience lead with no level 20 on the board.
This is the second time that we have seen this in Season 2. Not Split 2, Season 2.
Every matchup has about an average of 3 to 4 levels on their opponents.
And when you're looking at a Wheelish and Thor, I mean, that's a really big deal. Those are characters that are assassins. They're looking to do burst damage, and if they don't have the levels, they don't have the necessary numbers to bring an opponent down. And with how tanky this team is and how controlling they will be pressing forward, there's nothing that they could do to stop this.
AFK, they're not going to push up the left Phoenix.
They don't need to.
The mid one just spawned, and it's at half health. They want to keep the fire minion pressure
at
onto
a tenth
this mid
of its
lane.
normal health.
I mean, AFK too. They They're not even in their own circle. Like in the back, normally you'll see the players sit there defensively.
Weekend is backing here as his ally, so they're not going to take their power play again. And this advantage that they've created, they're going to go back and spend some gold. Weekend... Yeah, Deathbringer and level 2 Magi's.
I was wondering why they didn't steal away speed. Because it's up on the minimap.
Right.
There's only a single...
Yeah, no, it's been like that for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rough life.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The proper trades.
Sorry.
With that, Midgardian Mail gets finished, as well as a Lightblade coming out. Sprint 3 Max as well. Cyclone becoming very close to unstoppable. Kiki already had that spear, goes into Golden Sash. More than likely going to be a Gem of Isolation, looking now to initiate with the Fire Shards.
Shadow Q.
Spotted.
He's going to be in combat. He can't blink. That was fantastic. It wasn't just a ward. It was making sure, because they saw him. Weekend was looking at him. They made sure he wouldn't be able to blink and steal.
There it is.
And it's going to be too low. And Shadow Q going to get taunted out of his rollout. He has
will hit 3.
Nowhere to go. It didn't even. Did it even go off?
It might have only hit 2 either way, and he got decimated. That's looking like GG.
I mean, Agni is split pushing left lane with his Xbalanque. They're going to try and get anything they can, but they're going to have to back sooner. They're just going to lose. They're trying to take a tier 2, and actually...
Oh, Shing.
Incon...
You're not getting out of that one. Perfect cancel from Cyclone. 2 auto attacks, canceled directly into the sickle. 1 more does it.
Incon's going to keep them in combat so they can't back. AFK is just going to be able to run into this base if Incon can keep them at bay for a couple more seconds.
They're trying for it. They're going right in. Allied actually catching the Stone Gaze onto a few there. Decent damage, but better control as Weekend throws down a huge Fear No Evil. Titan getting very low, and Game 2 is guaranteed going to AFK.
AFK qualifies for the Summer Finals, and along with it, Cloud9 is also qualified for the Summer Finals due to matchups. Even if they lose both games next week, it is impossible for either Denial or TSM to overtake them.
So with that, congratulations obviously are in accord for both AFK and Cloud9.
Yep. Relegated teams so far are going to be COG? It's COG. And Enemy has not been relegated yet. They have to 2-0 Cloud9.
Everyone. The remaining play. We're going to look at First Blood here. We're going to check back in with AFK and just how this game started out so strongly.
I'm trying to remember what happened.
We don't have to remember. There's going to be a video.
Oh, is that how that works?
I mean, if production plays it.
Sometime here.
Hey, we're going to look at Incon here. Again,
this was Kiki surviving.
It's all about mid-camp control. Kiki should have been dead there. Allied coming in with a huge stun, and then Kiki gets up with the Fire Shards, raining down the massive damage. He will get picked off, but it allows them to move forward, finding even more kills and more control.
And it was that huge 3-man taunt from Incon also, lining up the rest of Denial to get picked off.
With that, let's take a look at the heat map here as we check into the jungle and see just how dominant AFK was in a little under 2/3. Denial with a better showing this time. Not as many mid-camps, but just as many Gold Furies and Fire Giants.
Yeah, and AFK Gaming didn't really steal away too many buffs outside of... They stole a speed buff, but then they left it up with 1 minion, so that Shing was never able to get another one. They weren't able to keep repeatedly stealing it, like I had called out in that game, but really just controlling the jungle overall, even if they didn't steal it all away.
With that, AFK takes not only the second game, but the split, and of course their relegation into the LAN. They've just been an incredible force.
Yes.
I mean, they have gotten better every single week, which they're going to need because next week they're going to be coming here, right?
Yeah, they're going to be joining Cloud9 for the last game.
Playing for that first seed.
For the first seed. It's going to be interesting.
Big fan. Should be really fun. So we're going to have an interview here, which should be fun. Who do we have? Oh, wait, first is player of the game. I'm sorry.
Do you even listen?
No, I can't hear anything he's saying.
You are deaf. Wait, no, I was the deaf one because we had it on high.
Player of the game.
Allied's player of the game. And you saw it too, right? 5-0 and 9. You saw at the end there. He's diving a Phoenix 2 versus 1, and he just knows his team will back him up every time, using the CC immunity on his ult and just all across the board. All of AFK Gaming has improved. Each player has improved so far individually that they are nearly uncontested next to Cloud9.
It's so the transformation from Season 1 to Season 2 Kiki, or even Split 1 to Split 2 Kiki.
I think Split 1 to Split 2 is a bigger one.
Is night and day. It's been an incredible transformation. We're going to be jumping in with the interview now, and I think we're going to have Weekend with us. Weekend, you there?
Weekend's not there.
Weekend.
Did production kick him from the Curse Voice interview again?
Oh, wait, there he is. I was figuring maybe he got banned for being so BM.
He knows it, too.
So, to start off weekend, how much money did you earn killing me the other day?
Like $100 or something?
His chat kept telling him, keep killing DM, I'll give you money.
When do you queue?
All right, so me and Adonis had been talking beforehand, F-Dot as well, about we thought that Denial was going to come in with some really crazy strategies and throw you guys for a loop. And then you came out with the forcing Shing into 2-1-2 in the first game with Serket. You got to walk us through that.
You know, it just comes down to knowing what they're going to pick. When you look at our team, if there's anyone in the world who could tell us what we're going to pick, I'd be shocked. And I can tell you the top 2 picks on every single team in the SPL. So just forcing them into what we know they're going to play, it lets us counter the whole game.
The second thing, and we talked about this a ton, was the 4-minute gank on the duo lane, something that is considered largely a cardinal sin from junglers to not be on your side of the jungle of 4 minutes. You find a perfectly timed kill onto onto Bronx. Tell us about that as well.
Well, wards are just falling off, and it's pretty much like you guys said while you're casting. It's a guaranteed kill, and then we take both their buffs. So I'll lose my speed, I'll take their red, their purple, and get allied ahead, and then never have to talk to allied again for the rest of the game.
And there's no greater gift than not having to talk to allied.
Is that how that works? So you guys have qualified for LAN now. Regardless of what happens in the final weeks, you have made it, and you're also going to be playing against Cloud9 here in Hi-Res Studios next this upcoming week. What do you guys have? What are you looking forward to that matchup?
You know, they're always exciting games. I mean, I honestly expect us to win, of course, but I'm sure the games are going to be close. They're going to go to full length, and they'll be fun.
So, New Gods coming out recently, of course. Ratatoskr and Nox are not available for play just yet. But will we see a 50% increase to Kiki's God Pool with the release of Nox?
You'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Is your plan to bait Kiki? Like, I feel like that's your team plan. Just like, Kiki, we know you can survive. Just sit there and just take the game.
How does he keep staying alive in these fights? Like, obviously, the Odin cage, he stays alive. Again, at the mid-camps, just barely. Tell us a little bit about Kiki's, and I know we talk about this a lot, but Kiki's growth from Split 1 to Split 2, from utility mage to monster.
You know, what it really is he found his core gods, and you know he's an amazing player. You saw that when he played solo lane, so now he's comfortable. So he's able to play what he wants to do. He's able to play what he wants, and he's able to be comfortable, and that's just all that matters, really.
Okay.
I love it. I love watching Kiki play, and that root uptime was amazing. Now, again, we'll see you guys next week. Before we let you go, Weekend, do you have any shout-outs you want to throw out? I'm sure you do.
Shoutouts to whoever tried to DDoS Kiki and I, because we played that second game without voice comms. So just shoutouts to that.
Wait, well, regardless of the first statement, you played that game without voice comms?
Yeah, the second game we played without comms for the first half.
I don't even want to anymore. I'd be real mad now if I was Denial.
That's rough. And that's going to do it for Saturday. Thanks for joining us, Weekend. That'll close out the day here. I'm sure we're going to have some standings to show you guys in just a few seconds.
Yep.
NA standings. Oh my God.
We're going with North America first. At the top, AFK Gaming and Cloud9. Now, Cloud9 still have to face enemy tomorrow, and it's likely that they're going to win and take over that first spot once again. But 2 teams have qualified for LAN.
With that, Cognitive Gaming has already fallen down to relegation. Enemy faces their fate tomorrow, of course.
They could see it 2-0,
They
9.
could totally see it. Nope, I couldn't even say it.
Got to have some hope.
Schedule.
So the final games we're going to be seeing tomorrow, London Conspiracy taking on Fnatic. That's important games for both teams. Fnatic can qualify, and London Conspiracy can put themselves in a good spot. And then we're going to see Upcoming Stars take on Titan, and then Enemy Esports versus C9.
Generally speaking, the latter 2 games are going to be very difficult for the bottom seeds, Cloud9 and Titan, being the top 2 placers from Season 1 overall, winning a combined total of like $1.8 million compared to the bottom seeds from both regions. London and Fnatic, I think there's a lot of potential there for London to take it.
That's a huge game.
What? It's going to be a great game. I'm really excited to see SunTouch show up. And you can't underestimate Emilzy.
Do you think he will?
He might.
Okay.
But that's going to do it here for Saturday. I hope you guys had a great time with those games. Of course, congratulations to all of the winners. So far, the season ticket predictors and the casters have been right, as per the Pick'em shows. 3 more sets as you join us tomorrow for the final day of Week 6. For Adonis, I'm DM Brandon, and we'll see you tomorrow.